Welcome back, everyone. The start to a brand new week here on the Cabral Concept. It is our Mindset and Motivation Monday, one of my favorite shows, of course, on the Cabral Concept, but really one of the best ways that I love to start the week. And it actually starts with the day before. So many of you listen to the podcast right now. You subscribe to my once a week newsletter. I've been putting out this newsletter for about 15 years. Yeah, 15 years, every single week. And what I try to do is I don't try to make it overly heavy. Well, it can be heavy in terms of thinking about your overall life, but very specific in order to be able to make one change per week, or at least open your mind up to one new thought, one new idea per week. And it's really just whatever's been going on over that past week. I try to share that with you. So I do hope that you tune into that Sunday Rewind newsletter, which also goes over any shows that you may have missed, any content that you may have missed. Of course, it's completely free. You can find that at StephenCabral.com. That's my website. And it's just my name, Stephen with a PH, StephenCabral.com. And you can just scroll to the bottom, sign up for the newsletter, or sign up on any of the little spots on the website, and you'll be added to the list. Of course, you can opt out at any time. So what I wanted to share with you is on Sundays, I really use that time for contemplation. I do very little on Sunday on purpose, scheduled wise, and it's just all family time. There's no work events. There's really just hanging out with family, relaxing, a nice calm day, getting to hang out, full attention with my two daughters, my wife, and a lot of times we have friends or family visiting as well. And then when the evening comes, I transition a bit. It's kind of getting ready for the school week for my daughters. My wife's preparing for the week as well. And I start to look at my work week ahead. And as I'm looking at the work week, or I'm looking at just the overall week, because my week is not just all work, right? It's family events, things that I have planned with my two daughters. It is my exercise, my workouts, any particular hobbies that I'm enjoying, that I'm doing at that moment, whether it be some target archery, etc. I might have that built into my week. And then, of course, there's writing, there's podcasting, there's my work, etc. So what I like to do, though, is I like to look at an area of focus for that week. I have to still do all of my other work just like you do, but what one area do I want to go a little bit deeper that week on? And that's really what I love to spend the Sunday night already doing, because you don't want to do it on Monday. The big thing is that when you roll into your Mondays, you want your week to be set. It's the same thing as if you were to go to the grocery food store without a plan. Inevitably, you are going to forget something, and inevitably, you're going to focus too much time in one particular area and buy a lot of foods that you don't necessarily need. So you walk out of the grocery store with maybe double what you actually really need, and it's because you simply lost focus, and then you forgot a few items as well. So you don't want to do that when you get to the grocery food store, just like you don't want to get to work or start your Monday, school, family, whatever it might be, without a plan. So you simply want to create the plan, and it should be simple. I'm going to teach you 2 life-changing questions here today. 2 simple questions, like I said, that you can use, but your plan should be simple. The IHPs that I work with, the wellness clients that I work with, whoever it might be, the ones that are not as successful are the ones that never get going. And the ones that never get going are the ones whose plan is way too complicated. And that goes for health, and that goes for all of our integrative health practitioners that want to create their own thriving practices as well. So that's kind of my frame of reference. That's what I look at. And then, of course, my friends, family that I chat with, they might have great ideas for projects or for different things they want to start, even hobbies. But the thing is, they never start them because they just make them way too complicated. And they say, oh, I can't get started until I know this, or I can't get started until I do this, this, and this. And it's inevitably going to make them feel worse about them because they've just procrastinated weeks and months and sometimes years on ideas or goals that they knew that if they had just started, they probably would have achieved by now. And you know, my philosophy on this is that you simply don't know what you don't know. And the only way that you do know is by getting started. Let me give you a little example of that. You're going to, if you have a weight loss goal, we work with a lot of people who want to lose weight, transform their bodies. Okay, you have to start with a diet plan. The very first diet plan that you try, the likelihood that you lose 60 pounds on that just all the way through from start to finish is highly unlikely, right? But you still have to start with that first diet plan in order to know what needs to be tweaked from there, right? And it's probably not going to be massive, but it's not going to be the same plan that you started on for those last 10 to 15 pounds. It's much easier to lose pounds 50 through 25 on your way down to your goal weight than it is for those last 5 or 10 pounds. And I've done podcasts and different things on that. But the truth is, that doesn't matter. You don't need to figure out how you're going to lose that last 10 pounds when you haven't lost the first 40. So you just get started. And the nice thing is in the beginning, things are pretty easy because you're keeping it pretty basic and you're moving from a baseline of not doing to doing, and doing is going to lead to results right out of the gates. Now, will you plateau? Will you hit certain barriers, challenges, obstacles? 100% you will. I don't know anybody who hasn't, and I don't do this podcast to sugarcoat things for you. But that's the thing. When you hit those obstacles, challenges, barriers, it doesn't mean that you can't hit your goal. It just says, okay, now the world, the universe, God is asking you to level up. You can't just stay the same. If you have bigger goals, if you have grander ideas for yourself in life, if you believe you have more potential, well, the only way that you reach that potential is to do things that, and I have a show that I want to share with you on this, is to do things that are extraordinary. You might say, well, I don't feel like an extraordinary human being. Remember the root of extraordinary. It's when we break down that one word to 2 words, we're looking at extraordinary, right? So all we're asking you to do is something to do more that's ordinary, right? Most people will do ordinary. They will work from 9 to 5, right? They will maybe read 1 book a year. They will go to see their doctor once a year. They will run their blood work maybe once a year, right? They'll do the ordinary. But if you want to get more than ordinary results, you have to do things that are extraordinary, that are on top of what everybody else does, what the entire world leads you to believe is correct. You need to do something just a little bit more. I'm going to link up that show today. So if you go to stephencabral.com/2096, I'll talk more about that, because what I want to share with you right now are the 2 life-changing questions you must ask yourself in order to be able to move much closer to your goals. So talk a lot about goals, and it's because I've been in practice for quite a few years now. And one of the biggest things that I see in my practice, like once we help people lose the weight, get well, and they're working on anti-aging, they're feeling good overall, then it's inevitable. It's literally inevitable in our practice that people say, okay, well, what's next? And what's next is not really more nutrition or exercise or nutritional supplements or sleep. Like, they're doing well on those. So we could tweak things a little bit. We can look at certain biometrics, and we love that. Don't get me wrong. And you should as well, because it is a pretty phenomenal thing of what you can do with your body and your health right now. But there's more to it than just this body. At some point, people are saying, great, I have my energy back. I have my zest for life, my vitality. I feel good. Now, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that energy, that ambition, that drive? So that will help you get up in the morning with energy, but it's your thriving towards a goal that is specific to you, that has meaning to you, that will ultimately help you live that long, healthy, rewarding life that you can look back on and be proud of. Some of the longest lived people I know, not all, but some, certainly a good amount, had something to look forward to every day. It was something that they enjoyed, that it was a part of them. And that's what I want for you as well. So I don't know what that is for you. I know what it is for me, right? I've shared that many times. It's, I want to be there for my daughters 100% when they need me throughout their entire childhood and into college for sure. Whenever they need me, I will be there. That's a big focus of my life. Another big focus of my life is taking what we are doing with Equal Life, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, stephencabral.com, and getting that message of being able to heal out to the entire world. And once you learn to heal your own body, my goal is that you go on and you teach others how to do the same. That is my goal. And the nice thing is I can do this for the rest of my life. And so what I look at is, okay, yeah, I have other smaller goals. They're all in between. But I'm looking at family, and I'm looking at, my passion for this particular work. And then I have hobbies, and I have all the other things that I love, right? My exercise and getting back into martial arts and archery and doing sprint triathlons. And, I have a background, if you listen to episode 2000, in drawing and painting. One day I will get back to those. So there's a lot that we can do, but what is it that you want to do right now? Don't keep putting things off in the future. What is it that you want to accomplish right now? And here's the two questions that I want you to ask yourself. So once you lock in on a goal, let's go back. Let's say, again, you need the energy, right? You need the vitality. You need the zest for life. So let's say right now, okay, you have an autoimmune disorder, right? Or you have some health, just insert the health issue, right? Could be weight gain, could be Hashimoto's, could be rheumatoid arthritis, could be sarcoidosis, could be MS, could be autoimmune issues, skin issues, migraines, brain fog, you name it, right? We've seen it all. It all exists. You have to overcome those things, and you can, right? Through natural protocols, there's just no doubt about it. So what do you do though? Well, you have to ask yourself these two questions. And let's start with the first one. If you know your goal is to live a life of happiness and ambition and just overall energy and love for life, that means that you need to overcome this health issue. So, what is it that you could be doing more of right now in order to overcome it? Because you can't say, well, I just want the happiness, I just want the energy. No. Those come along the journey of you overcoming your health issue right now. And we're not talking about 5 years to overcome it, right? We're not talking about my situation back when I was 17, where it was many, many years to overcome it. This is 2021 going into 2022, right? We can overcome things much faster just because of advanced at-home lab testing, very specific protocols. I mean, I was talking with my team the other day. Most people recover within 12 to 16 weeks. For the worst of the worst, we're looking at about 4 to 6 months. And for the very worst, we're looking at 8 to 12 months. So we're not talking about huge amounts of time, right? We're talking about 12 to 16 weeks for most people, 4 to 6 months really for the 99%. That encompasses everyone, right? From, let's say, 3 months to 6 months maximum. And then for that 1%, the worst, okay, a little bit longer, but certainly not more than the next 8 to 12 months. There's just no doubt about that. I mean, you can overcome that. If I can overcome rheumatoid arthritis, type 2 diabetes, Addison's disease, myalgic encephalomyelitis, insomnia, allergies, and so much more. Once I met my mentor and she put it all together for me, going back, 15 years now, certainly it can happen for you as well. So you have to ask yourself, though, if you really want this, what more could you be doing? I mean, that's it. And you have to ask yourself, you need to go down the line. Am I working with a coach? Am I working with an integrative health practitioner? Is it the weight gain that I need to lose first? Have I done any at-home lab testing? Am I following any particular protocols? I mean, if you are just going along, listening to your medical doctor and just taking your prescribed medication, which I'm not telling you to get off your medication, I'm not saying that at all, you're not getting to your goal. There's actually no chance, right? There's no chance to get to your goal of becoming healthy and balanced by simply running your blood work once a year with your MD and staying on your pharmacological drugs. There's just no chance. I mean, what's going to happen is you're going to end up with compound health issues, because almost everyone does, where one drug leads to 2 drugs, which eventually leads to 3 drugs, because the body's just so filled with systemic inflammation. So if that is the course that you're on right now, I just urge you to begin to change direction just a bit. Again, stay on the medication, working with your PCP, but begin to work with an integrative health practitioner, begin to work with a naturopathic doctor, work with someone that knows how to get to the bottom of this. So what more could you be doing? Again, if you can't work with a practitioner, run an at-home lab test. There's one for everybody, literally. All the ones that I recommend are at stephencabral.com/labs. But again, you might work with a local integrative health practitioner that you like, and that's great too. So no issues with that, but you have to say, what more could I be doing, right? What can I do more of? That's the first question. And this is only if you want it. This is if you need to make that goal a reality. Then you have to ask yourself, what more can I do? All right, that's the first part. And again, go back to my other shows before, because you don't really need more than 30 minutes in the morning and maybe 30 minutes before bed to implement a lot of this. That's it, maximum. All right, the second question you have to ask yourself is this: what should I do less of? Right? I mean, these are simple questions, but they're life-changing. All right, I'm not at my goal. What do I need to do more of? If you're trying to lose weight, have you done any exercise? Well, no, but I did in the past. Okay, well, you do need to start there, right? That's important. Are you following a nutrition plan? Yes, I am. Great. Oh, and now you're doing the exercise? Okay, good. So you're doing more of that. What more can you be doing? Well, you could certainly look at your blood sugar levels, right? Your fasting glucose. You can look at your estrogen, testosterone, DHEA, your thyroid, your cortisol levels. You can look at those things to see if they're an underlying root cause, right? So that's the doing more. But now can you do less of? Well, what you could do less of is cut out the Diet Cokes, right? Because just because they're sugar-free doesn't mean they're good for you, and it actually does still hurt your metabolism. What could you do less of? You could do less of the processed carbohydrates. You could do less of the 1 glass of wine a night with a meal. You could do less of, again, these are things that you could say, okay, these are what I'm going to do less of. Now, you don't have to cut everything out. But what you want to do is choose, okay, this is my goal. How important is it? If it's important, good. Is it more important than having 1 glass of wine a night? Yes, it is. Great. Let's cut out that wine. It's going to be one of the number one things that you could do in order to improve overall inflammation, work on anti-aging, your health, weight loss, etc. All right. So that's one thing right there. Do that, right? That's this week, but carry it into the next. When you're ready, when you feel comfortable, maybe after 2 to 3 weeks, what is the next thing that you could do less of? Because remember, I've told you this before, sometimes success is not an additive process. We don't always need to be doing more. Sometimes the real answer and the secret to success is doing less of things, right? So doing less stressful things right before bed will help you sleep better. Not eating right before bed will help you sleep better. There's a lot of things that you can do in order to achieve your goals. And a lot of times it's a removal-based process. We teach a lot of this in mastery because you can't just remove things from people's life. Typically, what you need to do is add in something that's a little bit more beneficial. We do that for the mind. The body doesn't need it, right? The body's okay. But the mind, which tells the nervous system what to do, well, that's a little bit different of a story. So again, we teach that in IHP mastery. So here's what I want you here's what I want to share with you though. Write down the goal. Write down the big goal that you have. I want to have more energy over this next year than I've ever had before in my life. Excellent. It's a great goal. Now, what do you need in order to achieve that? Okay, you need to overcome the autoimmune issue. Got it. You need to lose 35 pounds. Okay, put that right on the list. Now, if those are the 2 big things that you believe will get you to that goal, if you're not working with a coach, now what do? Get the body healthy, help the body lose weight. Okay, so what do we need to do more of? And you might say, well, I'm already exercising 4 days a week. Great. Getting your 10,000 steps. Great. Are you following a nutrition plan? Well, a little bit here and there. Okay, we need to get on a formal nutrition plan. We need to work on our sleep rate, work the de-stress protocol that I talk about in my book. So that's an important thing to look up. And then you want to say, all right, all this energy that I want, what do I need to do less of? Well, I need to do less of, and you're going to name the things that are draining you of energy in your life. And so this is a journaling-based exercise. If you're listening to this in the car, if you're listening to this on a walk, I really invite you to play this show back, journal these 2 questions. Write down your goal at the top of the sheet, make it a little bit more specific, and then just say, what can I do? What can I be doing more of? It doesn't mean that you have to do it, but what could you be doing more of in order to achieve it? And then after that, what could you be doing less of that's certainly pushing you away from that goal? If you truly answer these 2 questions, I have no doubt in my mind you'll be able to achieve that goal in the fastest way possible. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Appreciate you tuning in today. And as always, if this show was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anybody else you feel it could serve.